Why is communication so different between a man and a woman? You're gonna start with this one, or should I start?
Okay.
I think you should
Like,
put an example, if
okay.
so people can get
Big
it.
example, at least in our case, is where in the morning, I usually leave the house before you do,
Okay.
and we're in the kitchen, and I give you quite a few instructions, maybe two or three only, because I know that if I give you more, you'll forget. So, because I
What?
already know you.
I never forget.
So I give you two, three instructions
So, but wait.
verbally
Yes.
while I'm leaving. Like,
Well,
for example,
you write them down sometimes.
I write them down sometimes
Okay.
on top of that, but sometimes they're verbally. It's like, for example, put away the dog's food if he doesn't eat, and put away the dishes. And I leave.
I think you do more than one and two tasks.
No, sometimes it's only two. Yeah, okay. That's
Okay.
the way you see it. That's the way you see
Okay.
it. Okay, so I leave.
Okay.
I come back after 4 hours, and I go to the kitchen, and the dishes are still in the same place, and the dog's food is not in the refrigerator.
But wait. Okay. The thing is timing for me. Sometimes I get caught up in many emails, work emails, calls, and then I say, okay, I have time for this. I'm gonna do this in 15 minutes. I'm gonna do this in 20 minutes. I'm gonna do the next in the next 30 minutes.
That's fine.
But wait, I'll get him done.
That's fine. But I get here at 3 hours after, and you usually tell me, okay, I got it. Okay, yes. But when I get here, I tell you, hey, I told you to put the food in the refrigerator.
Okay.
And you're like, no, you didn't. And I'm like, yes, I did. And
But
so I just let it go. I just let it go, and I put it away because.
But at the end, I think it's fair to say that most of the time, I will say 98% of the time, things are done. Just not in the same time that you want it to be done, but they're done. Am I right or wrong?
I would say less percentage. Because, I mean, it is a big percentage, but maybe an 80%, 75, 80.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of times that you actually don't hear me. And you said, oh, yeah, I said yes, but I don't remember. And because you actually tell me that.
So the idea of this podcast and this series that we're going to be doing together is to help us figure it out, those moments of communication and many other things throughout a relationship. So we can agree right now that
Yes.
obviously is probably I don't know, I think we're wired differently in terms of men and women. And so it's your message goes one way and the idea that you have come to me in another way. But at the end, I think I did it, but at the end, your end says I didn't do it right, correct?
Yeah, it can happen also. I'm very picky. I know I'm very picky of how I do things, but I've also learned from you to let you do it in your own time. So there are things that I just slip away. I'm like, forget about it. He'll eventually do it, or if not, if I'm already there, I'll just do it. But I don't really I don't take it into an argument like usually a lot of people do that. I'm like, we've been married for 26 years, and there's some things that are really not worth it. And then there's sometimes that even you tell me things and I forget, like, for example, listing in the supermarket. Oh, you forgot to bring me this.
Wait. Can you say that again, please?
The list. No, because I usually, but I usually tell you.
Saying that you actually forgot something that I told you.
Yeah, I usually tell you. It's something in the list of the supermarket. If I don't write it down, I usually tell you. If I didn't write it down, I will forget because I have too many things in my head. Yeah. But I do tell. But if it's written down, 99%, I'll show up with what you asked me for.
100%. Yeah, so, that's true. That's true.
So, yeah, but
I think my problem is that I don't write them down, or I should write them down, but it's not how my brain works. It's like, okay, she told me this is that. Sometimes I do actually write them down because there are too many. But it's the timing. I think I prioritize in my head. I need to do this first and this, that. And I try, if I cook, I have to wash my dishes. That's something that I have to do. But God forbid that I forget one thing, because you will tell me, and I guess you coach me, and I'm being open to that in a good way, to be able to say, okay, don't forget to clean this after this. It makes sense. It makes 100%.
But I think it also goes to that since we started our relationship, we've always communicated, and it's not only those little things. These are little things nowadays after we've been married for so long. But since we got together, we it's always been very important communication for us. I've always told you, and you know it since the first day we were not even dating, and I already told you what I liked in a person that would be my boyfriend in that time.
Yes.
I was very clear of how I wanted to be treated. So yeah,
Just make sure that you tell people that they need to write things down. And we'll talk over.
yes,
We'll go
yes.
over this.
But what I'm saying is that we've always communicated. I've never not
That's
tell
true.
like if I felt bad, I would tell you about something. If I felt jealous about something, I would tell you. I never really kept it from me, and you're usually pretty good with that
About
too.
reading it, yeah.
About reading, or if you can't read me, I'll eventually tell you. And even when we fight, for you, it's very important communication. That one it takes me a little bit longer, but if we're fighting, you usually like to talk and resolve it at that moment. I work a little bit differently in that for that specific case.
Okay, let's talk about another point. What I said versus what I meant.
That's a good one. Oh, let's try this new restaurant because I researched on the red because I know you and I have very specific taste of what we want to eat in restaurants.
That took you
So I'm
long.
very yeah. So I'm very. I know you're very specific with a lot more specific than me. I explore more in that
There you
sense.
go. There you go.
Yeah. So I tell you, okay.
That's a good one. That's a
Yeah.
good
Well,
one.
I'm like, okay. Do you want to try this one, this restaurant? I don't know, Turkish or something different. And you look at me, and I'm like, okay, does that look mean that he wants to? So I just go, and I don't know what he's saying. What's he think? He tells me maybe I'll meditate or I'll let you know. I don't know exactly sometimes what that means, but I'll still make the reservation. And then when the day approaches, I kind of have to figure out and ask him again if what he meant that when he was going to meditate it meant that I could go ahead and do the reservation and we'll go to the
So you
restaurant.
basically just take control over and say, you know what? Screw it. We're going.
No, yeah, but when the day of the restaurant that we have to go comes, sometimes you make me change the plans. I tell you, hey, just so you know, remember today we have reservations this new
This is
restaurant. And
interesting.
you look at
I
me,
didn't know you think-
what's on the menu? And I'm like, I already told you what's on the menu. There's stuff that we can eat because we don't eat red
So
meat.
much to unpack here.
And you're like, and you look at me. I don't know if it means that you don't want to try something different in that sense, or we'll be disappointed with the restaurant. I mean, it's kind of difficult sometimes, or I don't know if it goes by the mood of the day. You're in the mood of going out, so yeah, it is challenging.
You
So
know
I-
what? For me, it's difficult. I can't think of anything that you said that I don't know what you meant or what you mean because I normally can pretty much read you. It's like,
If not, I tell you.
yeah,
don't
I'm
know.
just like, I can't come up with anything.
No, this is the only-
I think I'm less complicated.
This is this is the only case that it's like this is the only case because in general we're pretty you'll let me know, hey, I would like to do this, and I say, okay, let's explore and let's do it. Let's do this new adventure or something like that. But in general, it does happen. I've noticed it happens to me like the restaurant choosing. I know
restaurant,
I know
yeah.
I cook a lot at home, and yes, you always say since I cook good, it's very difficult to go in and out. But sometimes I do want to explore something different and, check out. We have our special restaurants that we like to go and we know they're good. But I also like to see new things in restaurants and stuff like that. Food may be not good when we experience it or maybe the customer service, but at least we did it. So that's the only case really that you and I sometimes is a little bit more challenging to
Yeah.
get you out of your comfort zone of restaurants. Sometimes there's sometimes you say, okay, let's go. I mean, that's it. It depends on your mood, but
You're a
it's
good
difficult.
cook. That's
but-
not my fault.
I know.
You spoiled me to have really good food, so now I don't want to go out.
Yeah, but
That's like-
I do want to. You see, you don't understand. I do want to go out.
Yeah, I know, I know, I
do
know,
want
I
to
know,
go
I know.
out, get dressed, and even if
So
the
basically, it's
restaurant.
having this empathy to a certain degree. The more time we spend together, obviously, as a couple, you understanding that there are variations of how people behave, but at the same time, it's trying to read and communicate. One of the things that I have noticed and we have learned
Mm.
together is that you now, like me, said what you mean.
Oh
So
yeah.
like, you know what? I'm tired. I
Hmm.
don't want to go out, or I don't want to go
And we
to this
and we
place,
usually
whatever.
and we
And
usually
you're like, okay,
respect it.
cool. Now it's different when I say I'm tired every single day, right? And
Mm.
or I just don't want to do it every single. Something else is happening there,
Mm.
but it's not our case. But
Mm.
to communicate and to say, you know what, I really want to go today. Like I told you, hey, I want to go see Superman, the new movie. You're like, okay,
Yeah, yeah. You're usually not much to going to movies lately, but you wanted to see. Yeah, no, that's fine. I like to go out. I don't mind. I like to get dressed up and go out. So I like to use clothes and go. Yeah. So but in general, we pretty respect all that, and I don't really get mad. I mean, if you change my plans and I already made a reservation, you
no,
change the
you're pretty
plans.
good about it. You're pretty
I'm like,
flexible.
okay, we'll do it. I mean, we'll do it another day, but I want to try it eventually.
I
I
think you
always,
know what it is. I think the key of this is not to impose.
yes, no, I
Like, you
don't.
know what? This is what I want to do. Is
But
maybe I
also
don't know.
besides imposing, not also to be controlled by the other person. There's couples still even nowadays in 2025 that they have to ask permission to their
Yeah,
partner to
that's.
do something like in group or with including
Have
them
you
or
ever asked
friends.
permission, or have I
No,
ever asked you a
no.
permission
We just talk
about
and
what?
say we
We
just
don't own each other.
exactly. So we just say and we respect. And if you need your
Of
space,
course,
you've
of
done your
course.
things. And we usually like to do a lot of stuff together. But there's
That's
some things that maybe
yeah.
there's a
That's
couple of
not.
things that you don't share with me, and it's fine. But you still respect it. And I
Yeah,
still
of
try to
course.
bring it into my life so you can know about it. But at the end, we're like, yeah, I don't really ask you permission, and that's a good thing of us. I think that's
Yeah.
because of communication. A lot of people think that nowadays what I see and people don't want to get married, don't want to be in a relationship because they're scared that they're going to be controlled, they
Yeah.
won't be
They don't
able
have the
to be there,
freedom.
they don't have their freedom. I'm like, I have my freedom, I'm still married and I have my freedom and I have my companion that I can share it. But if I want to do something on my own, I just do it. I just do it on my own, and he's okay with it. I mean, he's not going to have an issue with that, and that's the way it should be. You shouldn't feel, yeah, that
Okay.
you're controlled or you have to control the other person.
Love it. How we show love differently, and I'm gonna start with this one.
Okay.
Okay. I I'll go. I'm gonna go back when I was uh, starting to going out with you.
Mm.
I was. I'm still, but just a little different, older, very romantic. Back then, we didn't have social media, so I wrote poems. I
Yes.
did this
Letters.
letters. I put cologne on it
Yeah.
and everything. I was very. I'm always being creative, but at that point in my life, I was very romantic on that.
Yes.
Uh, I think that has been morphing. I mean, been changing towards my personality, and the older I get, so that's how nowadays I think I'm more into action. So probably a little boring for some people's perspective. Now it's not a love letter, but it could be action towards something. I wanted
Yeah.
to be able to take care of you, always been, but now it's being like different. I want to be able to probably surprise you to cook something out of the blue, or do breakfast for you. Hey, and even though you are on top of everything, it's kind of hard to to beat you to it.
Yes, but
It's super hard. But and then I'm trying to think of things that you like traveling. You like traveling, so I'm like, you know what? Let's explore this. Let's explore that. Of course, if you can do it on your possibilities. So I try to do that part to transform it into it. I know you would like to receive flowers, and I will. I know you would like to be for me to be a little more that more into it. But
no, but
I need to
it's
work on it, I think.
but it's a but there's other things that nowadays, yes, I do love because when we first met, it was really nice to receive that. But also, we've been together for 26 years, and in 26 years, we've never given each other Valentine's Day gifts. If you don't even remember, but we're okay, and that's been okay even since we were
Can
dating.
you repeat that so people can?
Yeah,
People
not
are gonna
even
be like, what?
yeah, not even the first Valentine's Day, because we were actually
We
we
were
took
in
a
love
trip,
every day,
and we
right?
took a trip. We were in we took a trip together. Actually, that February we took a trip together. So for that, was it was more actually more important. So we kind of both knew. And but yeah, you two always gave me a gift here, maybe for my birthday. But for us, it's like you said, I love to travel, and we take turns. I tell him I want to go to this place, and if we can do it,
Yeah.
he'll actually make it. I mean, you'll actually say, okay, we're going to go because this is where Janina wants to go this time.
Let me jump on it real quick.
If I want to go a day spa to LA and I don't want to drive by myself, you'll take me there. So,
I'm on it.
yeah. So, because he knows I don't like to drive by myself, maybe to LA to do that. So, he'll take and he'll wait for me there. So,
Yep.
those are things that
I have no
other
problem with
people,
it.
yeah, other
No
people
problem
will
with
do
it.
it. So, for me, instead of receiving flowers, for him taking me to LA for a spa, it's great. Even so, there are things like that. It's things
But
like
let me
that.
jump on that real quick because this might help um, people listening or following us. It's about very early on. I did it. Uh, I realized that you are a person that is very complete towards what you want. Let me rephrase that. If you want, let's talk about material things. If you want a pair of shoes, you know exactly what you want, the color that you want. You show me, you share it with me, you go for it, right? And and I realized very early on that I couldn't beat that. It was so hard to predict. So I remember one time I bought you something, and I can't remember what it was, and you were like, "Thank you."
Yeah,
It was
no,
probably ugly
but
as
no, you
f.
know my style, but
But
the
now it's like
no,
I realize,
it's
go
that
for it.
it's because it's depending on the stage that are also in your life. For example, there was a stage that would use a lot of high heels, and you kind of knew what high heels, but you didn't know exactly my size. You didn't know if it was going to hurt my feet, so you actually
Exactly.
needed to know. In my head, it's like, why is he going to spend money in some? I mean, it's our money
Right.
because we also share.
Oh, well, if we talk about this, people are
Yeah.
gonna be like,
Yeah, we also
"What?
share everything. I mean, we also share everything. There's nothing like your
Do you
money,
have
my
your own bank account?"
no, I don't have. We
I have my
share.
own bank account.
No, we share everything. So it
We share
comes out
everything.
from the
Yeah.
and that started
But
even
you
when
know
we were
what?
dating. Even from we
Even
were
though we
dating.
probably are talking about the same thing, but we're a little sidetracked into it. Um, that's something that it was natural. There was no plan. Never was planned to be like, you know what? You have
No,
control.
but
I have
but
control. But I was like,
what I was going to say is that it also happens to me with friendship. Is like I prefer if people do not know my taste exactly. It's not that I don't appreciate Dave. I do, but I also know how it's hard to earn your money. So instead of that, let's go out to dinner. Like for example, I prefer for you and I
love
to
it.
go out to
Love
dinner
it.
and
That's
explore
why.
a new restaurant, even though the food may not be as good as it says, but we had the experience together.
That's why.
Instead of like, okay, you buy me a purse, and the purse may be nice, yes, but maybe I won't be used because it's not like it's too heavy for me. I mean, it's things like that. I'm thinking of that sense. And the same thing with my friends. I prefer like if they wanna do something for birthdays, don't give me a birthday. Let's go invite me to have a cup of coffee. Everybody knows I
I
love
think
coffee.
nowadays you are more into the now. Like you love the experience, you
Yeah.
one on
Oh,
one.
hey, 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 I love
You,
purses and I love shoes and stuff, but I need to buy them me because they need
I
to
know
be
you do.
comfortable. They need to be comfortable for what I'm going to use, and
Yeah,
it's
true.
worth money.
True.
And people work hard for their money, including you and I. And I'm like, why are we going to spend in something? You can give me a card and buy me to. I mean, and things like that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
like it.
I'm very specific. And you on the contrary are very let go of that. I know your taste and I can buy you. And if you don't like it, you'll tell me. But in general,
Yeah,
you don't you
I don't ask for it.
you don't ask for anything really. But I always like to have a little something.
No, you're always on top. You're always on top. I love that one. I love that about you.
Yeah.
So let's go back to that point of how we share everything and how that how worked for us and how we still apply that until today. So the beginning, we were very young and didn't have money
Nothing.
and didn't
Nothing.
have anything really, um, and then I remember you and I think, talk about this, right? I mean, like, in terms of planning and doing things for our life. I think from the very beginning, I
I
was
think
like,
we also
yeah,
trusted
sure,
each
whatever.
we
You know,
trusted
whatever you
each
want.
other. I remember you trusted me with your you were working and studying, I was working and studying, but in Venezuela, which is completely different than here in the States, you can't really live on your own working and studying. You still live with your parents. But I remember we were only dating for like 2 months and we traveled together and you started to give me he told you told me that I administered better money, so you started giving me your salary, which was not much. It's not something you could live off, but like, what can we do with it and work together? And it's like we
And
kind
now,
of
26 years later, do we still apply the same
I
thing?
still apply the same thing. We
Yeah, I think
work
we do.
and he works, and I just do all the administration. I like it though. I do like to manage here
Yeah,
everything.
there's sometimes couples that the role is reversed,
Yes,
and it's
yes,
fine. You
it's
know, I
fine.
mean,
But I
whoever is
actually
better with. It's not like I'm bad with money. I'm actually pretty good
no,
about
but
it.
you do have
It's
to
just
keep a
I just my brain in terms of mathematical computations takes longer than
no, but
yours.
it's a lot of
You're
stuff.
really good about that.
Paying the bills, how know where goes to this and what to do with this. Yeah, I've always done it since we were dating, so it's kind of like automatically that. But yeah, we do share. We trust each other. We're not like, oh, let me put aside just in case. We've never thought like that, and we've gone through our situations. So like every
Mm.
couple, they have cycles of going through ups and downs. But in our head, we never really thought, oh my god, I have to separate money just in case he leaves me or just in case this happens or anything. We've never really
And you know,
thought.
with the couples that we have met throughout our life, not keeping count, I'm just saying my reference in the mind. I don't know many of them that they actually have um, joint accounts.
No, they may have a small joint account only for the expenses of the house, but each one because they're making their salary or it's something. I think we're going into it's an era of individualism, even though because less people are getting married, less people are having partners, and so the ones that are partners, I think there's a lot of individualism still. So they're not thinking as like I think you're stronger as a couple than being an individual. But that's our point of view.
And
Maybe it's
I,
an old school. Maybe it's an old school
and I
point.
think it's important to, I mean, from our perspective, remember this is just opinions of our
Yes,
sharing our ideas of our
and our
experiences.
experience.
Is that you need to be real clear that that's what you want.
Hmm.
If you want somebody with you and you want to share somebody your life with somebody through the path of life, what is called life, we need to understand that it needs to be clear. It needs to be clear exactly what you want. And we go back to our previous point, is that to make sure you exactly write down
What you want
what
and
you
your
want,
what you
and
want.
that probably will be our next topic.
Yeah, that has to be a little bit with
That
more.
one
Ex-
is a really good topic.
yes, yeah, yeah. But at the end, for at least for my case, is like I can't see now after 26 years. When you're younger, you're thinking different things about your partner. But nowadays, I cannot imagine me being sick and not having him by my side taking care of me. I can't imagine. I mean, I don't know if I'm used to being with him or he's just part of me now. But for me, also a lover, a companion, that's so important in my life that I could not like he's like well, sometimes we say like wow if we would have not been together it would be so difficult to be dating nowadays because it is
Yes,
challenging to find someone that you connect so much as him and I connect.
connection. That's the word.
Yeah, we
Connect.
connected since the first day that we
Yeah.
met.
Now to one of my favorite topics, and I want to give you all the props because I admire you for that. You're the master of writing things down, and that translates to manifestation. And I think will be the intention, the thought, the actually put it on paper will be intention plus some action or suggestion, and then the action, and then will be the actual going at it. And it's incredible. I can't stop telling people, please, please, please write things down exactly to the perfect detail of what you want, because it will happen. That, and you can explain that after I finish your, what exactly, from my perspective, is all about that, the power of now. But how can you explain this for couples and for yourself, what writing down things for you has done in your life?
Wow. And well, it's done all positive things, even though the journey is not always a straight journey. Eventually, if it's something that I really in my heart really wants, it just I just manifested. It may not be in 6 months or 8 months, but eventually it's there. And
Can you tell?
starting with you,
Yeah,
how I
yeah, 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 exactly,
manifested
exactly.
you.
Yeah, can you tell the story real quick, please?
So when you and I met, you had just finished an engagement. You were actually going to get married with another girl, and I was ending a 5 year relationship with another guy. But you and I met, and in less than in 3 months we
Yeah.
dated. In less than 6 months, no, around 8 months, we were already engaged and then already married by civil paper
By
because it was
court.
by court. And so everybody thought we were nuts, but and that this was in Venezuela. So we were still in Venezuela. But when I was cleaning up all my room to come and live here to the States with you, and I found this piece of paper that I had written 3 years before I met you. And it was one time when I had a fight with my ex, and I was so mad. I had written down every single thing that I actually wanted in my next boyfriend or husband. I didn't put it was and just a companion. The companion was going to be next to me, and it was 3 pages, front and back, with my handwriting of everything. The only thing it didn't have was your name on it because I didn't know what was your name going to be. But I showed it to you, and I still have it till nowadays. I still have it, and when I showed it to him, he was like in shock of everything that I had described him completely. I had brought him into life,
Yeah, you
like a
did.
song of Savage Garden.
You know, once I saw it, and I'm like, wow. And you were no,
I had forgotten about the
and,
paper
and I
until
don't know
we
if you
got
remember, but you, besides the list, gave me a little emphasis on it. Like, and by the way, I like to dance. I like to go out with my friends. I like to
like
do
you.
this.
I like you to share with my friends.
Yeah,
That
I
was
like you to share with my friends. I'm like, okay, okay, yeah, sure. I mean, I don't have a problem. I didn't know where this was
I
coming
didn't. I
from.
didn't want you to be jealous.
Yeah,
That was a big
so
one.
what basically you were telling me is taking the mask off from, your older relationship, saying, this is who I am. This is what I want you to
And no, no, this
be
is what
if
I
you want to be
deserve,
with me. Yeah,
and this is
exactly.
what
Oh,
I
wow, what a
deserve.
powerful thing.
This is what I
This is what I
deserve.
deserve. And even if you like it or not, I don't care. And I'm like, that, in that moment, that's one of the things that I say, you're the one.
Yeah, and since then, everything we've done together, we've gone through tough of rough patches, tough
Which
of rough
will,
patches.
yeah, I
It's
mean,
not like everything, but
yeah.
every single year, sit down and dedicate 1 or 2 weeks in December to write down every single thing for the next day, every single details, even things nowadays. We have a 18-year-old daughter, and things also that include her and guide her, but everything from our work, but every single detail. My hand gets really tired because it has to be,
Yeah.
from my point of view and from my experience, it has to be written. Nowadays, everybody wants to do things in an iPad, and it's not the same energy when you're putting your heart, your soul, and your handwriting on it. You have to write it in old school piece of paper. And I know sometimes, for me, I know that people started doing this, and I started hearing of vision boards like a few years after I have been
Mm.
doing this. But they will say vision board to visualize it, just to see it and put like paper cuts from magazines. I think that does, for me, it doesn't really work because it doesn't give all the details, because you actually have to put, for example, I want this person to be like this, and you have to put all the specifics, because yeah,
You
you
know what
have
the
to.
crazy part about that is? That I do the same, and you know this, but mentally,
Yeah, but you're
which is insane.
but for me,
But
mentally, you
but
forget a lot of
but
details,
wait,
and you
but you're
for
100.
me
Percent
for
For you,
me
the details is what escapes on it. So
Yes.
that's why
Because
we.
you can say, I want a great job that you make this amount of money, but you also have to include, and then you land that job, but you're miserable, your boss treats you bad, you're doing 7, 80, 90 hours a week, and you have to put the specifics. I don't want to do more than. So for me, the specifics, it's not the big picture, it's the very little specifics of everything that you want in a
So this is how I see it.
relationship.
This is how I see it. I'm on an airplane with my parachute next to you, right? And I see the field. Oh, this is beautiful. This is great. We can do here. We can live there. We can put it
Yeah,
farm here.
you're seeing all the big
and I
scope.
see over there, and you're like,
Uh,
okay, let's jump. We jump, and then you're like, maybe here is more specific. I like this part
This
because the
part.
river is going through, but then the water and the mountains, and I'm like, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah,
So
you
it's a
can-
combo. I think it's the power of the combo
well, I usually
of
ask you
the
also,
why
yeah.
to the narrow.
But I usually
And
like
back and forth,
big
back and forth,
goals,
back and
like
forth.
nowadays that you're together, big goals that you want, especially professionally and in couple is very important for me. Every year, it's still in my vision board. I still put that we're a strong couple, and because we go through rough patches also, and
Yeah, we'll talk
you-
about throughout the series.
yeah, but I have to put. But nowadays, like in professional, I always ask him, "Hey, what are you looking on your vision board?" Because then I grab what he's also looking at his vision board to put it together with mine, so we can make it a comment, put in more energy to that, and put more specifics to his big concept.
Dangerous.
No, his big concept. That he has. Okay, put more specific and more details of how I would like that big concept to actually go through, because there's a lot of loops that if you don't put, the universe says, okay, you wanted this, but you didn't say specifically how to get here or there. Yeah, so you also have to do that. So for me,
So write things down.
write things down with your handwriting. Do not only, you can do pictures and have a big picture vision board, but specifics is the most important. And the road won't be straight, of course. They want the road getting there.
Well, this is why we created this podcast. The idea is to have and share our road, our experience of our road, and what we're going through.
He
with
gets
everybody.
excited. He's more of the one that talks on the radio, and I'm a little bit more shy. So
You're doing great. You're doing
So
awesome.
he's like, we have to tell our story. I'm like, okay, we'll tell us.
Okay.
We'll tell a story. He's the stage. He loves to be on stage.
Bring something back from our past, and
Oh, I have a good one too. You're going to love
I haven't even finished, and you already got a good one.
I have a good one.
I'm scared.
Okay.
Okay, go
You
for
can
it.
tell-
I
no,
don't
you-
even know what she's gonna say,
You can
but
tell yours. I'll tell
no,
yours.
go for it.
Okay, so this is well, you wanted an adventure, wanna to end wrap it up a little bit. Well, the time that you were traveling a lot for work, you've always traveled for the past 18 years for work. And this was maybe 12 years ago, 13 years ago, I don't remember. And you came back from a show after a week from LA. You came back at midnight, and
Oh
we
my
were
God.
leaving. We were leaving for our vacation the next day at 7 a.m. We had to go back to LA to take our flight to Peru.
I
We
know.
went to the,
I know.
so I had everything ready. Of course, I understand you were coming back from a show that you were working. I had all the suitcases ready. Everything was ready
Oh.
to leave. You didn't have to do anything. Everything was packed. Gifts for the family, because my family's from Peru, and
It's
souvenir.
funny how you say
everything.
you didn't have to do anything.
No, because I meant
Meaning like
pack anything. Everything was ready.
You'll see why. You'll see why.
So okay, so we're like, okay, we leave at 7 a.m. to LA to catch our flight, and he puts the suitcases in the car, and when we get to the
To the
so
terminal.
we parked the car. Yeah, we took the car to LA, so we put it in a parking lot, and he takes out all the suitcases. We go in the shuttle, and when we get to the terminal from the shuttle,
Yeah.
you start unloading the suitcases, and I'm like,
No.
there's one
Wait.
missing.
That-
We had already left from Sunday. I mean, you've done all this, and I never. No, but it also me. I never checked.
Wait,
I never.
that's not true. This is how it happened. I put all the cases down out of the
shuttle.
the bus, and you started 1, 2.
This is when I
four,
count. And I'm
five,
like, no.
6. And you're like, oh my god, where is number 6? I'm like, what
No,
number
it was
6?
4 suitcases and 3 carry-ons. You
Okay.
were missing one. We had only 3 suitcases. I'm like,
Up to today, I still have it running.
And we're like, where's the fourth suitcase? And I'm like, oh my God. And of course, I packed, but I don't know exactly what was in each suitcase until we had to get, of course, we can't do anything. We're already in LA. We had to take the flight until we land in Lima, Peru. And I open all the suitcase. Look at this. From all the suitcase, that suitcase had the majority of your clothes and underwear there. Remember? It was, I mean, I usually pack like evenly in every single, and you did have other stuff in the other three suitcases, but a lot of the
All right.
presents were there. It's like- and you're like, and I'm like, and it's like, this is also my fault because I had to count since we left the house, but we were leaving
It's
so early.
nobody's fault.
But it
At
was
the
so
end-
funny that I'm like, one,
At the
two,
end,
three, and I'm
what
like,
did you learn? You learned that,
That I have to
number one,
count
I
how much-
didn't have underwear.
well, we bought
Number
it.
two, we just went out and bought
Well,
underwear.
yeah, I know.
And number
but it was,
three, some of the tias, some of
oh
the aunts
yeah, they were
didn't get her gift. So
that was the hardest.
I heard that from a long time.
And we were there for 3 weeks. So that was a funny one. But of course, there was a lot of things, and you had just, and I said, well, I got mad, but I couldn't get as mad because, of course, you were just getting back from working for a whole week and you were tired or whatever. And it's true, that suitcase was a little bit more separated than the three ones that were together. But it was also me. I usually go to the car and check if all the suitcases are there, but I don't know why I didn't.
Happens.
It
happens.
So I'm like, yeah, I was pissed at the first hour.
Well, this has been a blast. We're gonna be back, and
Hey, you were going to say what? What you were going to say the one of mine
one of yours.
in Tierra.
Oh, okay. Real quick. So we leave the house. Our daughter was 7?
Yeah.
Oh, we got it right. Okay, good. We go to this great place named IKEA. So we go there.
Oh, but we were living close by. We were kind of close.
Let me finish. We weren't not that far, but it's fine. So we were shopping around, and all of a
Did
sudden,
we get to IKEA? I think we didn't even go inside IKEA. We
no,
remember.
we were inside. We were inside, yeah. And you're like, oh, the rice. Did you shut off the stove?
Turn off the stove.
Like, didn't put any rice to cook. Like, oh my God, the rice! And I'm like, no way, you left the rice on? Like, the stove.
In a regular stove. It's not a
Eh,
rice maker that controls
No,
everything.
yeah,
It's
that
a
was back
regular
then with
stove, yeah.
no AI and thing. Well, guess what? I drove like maniac to get home.
But we were not that far from
And let me
that
tell you
yet.
something. That ride was gone. It was toast. It
Well,
was,
but nothing
so-
happened. It was really low. It was
and
really low.
the whole thing about this story is like, Janina, you forgot something. I can't believe it.
Now I have a rice maker. So
But I'm glad the house was not burning down, and the rice was the only one that it was. It was
the bottom
black rice.
part,
It
the
was black.
the bottom part, the
Yeah,
upper
it was
part
black.
was not right.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
you can have it. But anyway, this has been a blast,
Yeah.
and I think we're gonna do this again. I thank you for being here. You have no choice but being part of this,
Thank
and you did
thank
fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank
Don't
you very
forget,
much.
everybody, to subscribe, like, and follow us. Send us some ideas if you want to hear from us. We love you all. Bye.
Bye.